Okay, so has anybody else been noticing something strange happening with the animals and in nature?
Since when do birds chirp at 2 a.m.?
Cause why y'all so deep on my block? They out here deep as hell. Militant, look at them. Left, right, left, hut, to hut, hut.
Like people's connections with animals and insects and nature is getting way more closer and personal lately.
I've never had a butterfly love me like this.
Yo, I have never, ever been this close to a cardinal bird in my life, y'all. Wow. I hope it's okay.
Some people on TikTok are even saying that nature is starting to interact with them in their dreams as well.
I just had a dream about trees.
In this video, he was saying that he was approached by the Dolphin Nation and a mermaid-like being came out of the water and said that he did not remember himself.
Has anyone noticed that animals have been acting very strange recently?
Mine is acting very weird. I have one little dog, Cutie Pie, but she has been very strange lately, especially the last few days. She doesn't want to leave your side. Even going to the bathroom, she'll go up to the door and sit and wait for you. It's very strange. She's never done that. She is panting when it's not hot, and she's just unsettled. Is anybody else having pets that are acting very, very strange?
I don't know what he's doing. He just got up and just started sniffing the air. He's like walking around the house, sniffing the air.
Anyone else's animals acting like fools? Completely weird, annoying. No amount of walk, playtime, whatever will chill them out.
Lately, animals around the world have been acting off. It's the middle of June 2025, and the world's creatures are trying to tell us something. In early June, flocks of birds in the US and Europe were seen flying in chaotic, unnatural patterns, crashing into buildings, spiraling straight into the ground. In Japan, thousands of sea creatures washed up with no clear explanation. And in parts of South America, dogs have been howling at empty corners like they're seeing something we can't. Scientists say it could be subtle shifts in the Earth's magnetic field. But others believe animals are sensing something coming, something we haven't felt yet. Have you witnessed your pet acting bizarre lately?
Like at this point, the animals, the insects, the nature, the water creatures are just like, hello, hello.
Y'all got me out here talking about the trees touching your shoulders. I'm finna find out. So this is Treebeard, okay? Lord of the Rings, we gonna try. All right, wait till the wind stop. There we go. Ooh, he bugs. Okay, Treebeard, if you can hear me, touch my shoulder. Nothing. Treebeard, if you hear me talking to you, touch my shoulder. Again, nothing. Unhand me, Treebeard.
Tree, if you can hear me, and if you can hear me talking to you, can you touch my hand? Can you touch my hand, please? You gotta get us a little closer. Come on.
Can you touch my shoulder again? Please? Can you? You gotta really touch it. Are you trying to give me a hug?
Okay, y'all, so everybody's out here making videos talking to trees like touch me if you can hear me, and that's cool and all, but what does it mean when you have a group of hummingbirds surrounding you, hovering around you, and even landing on your fingers? Do you know how rare that is, y'all? Hummingbirds don't play that. Do you know how much of a high vibration you have to be in order for them to be attracted to your frequency? These birds are highly elusive, high alert, high speed, and they're very selective with who they share their energy with. And for one to come to you, that's wild. But a whole group of them, y'all, that is divine.
There is nothing on the side of me. There is nothing on the side of me, nothing above me. Okay. Tree, if you can hear me, touch my shoulder.
Yo, y'all better stop talking to them trees. You can't be doing everything that everyone does on TikTok. Stop following these trends. Deuteronomy 16:21. I'm going to show you why you shouldn't be talking to trees. You shall not plant for yourself an Asherah or any kind of tree beside the altar of the Lord your God, which you shall make for yourself. Why does the Bible say this? Because people were worshiping, talking, and praying to trees. Asherah is the biblical name of what people call Mother Earth. Throughout time, the name changes. Throughout culture, the name changes, but it's still the same demonic entity. People have been worshiping, talking to trees for ages. You want to know why? Because it is believed that the spirit of Mother Nature dwells inside of the trees, and they worship her, and they pray to her, and they talk to her. And then throughout different cultures, they have different belief systems, but they all believe the same, that spirits or entities dwell in nature. And so they talk and communicate with trees. And they do this because the things, the trees, the rocks, they somehow respond back. And these are not spirits of nature. These are demons. Another example, Wiccans. Wiccans practice witchcraft. They work spells. They do and cast spells. You cannot cast a spell without working with the demon. It's demonic. Know what they believe? They say both of these deities, demons, manifest themselves in nature. Who in the world you think you're talking to when you're talking to a tree? When you talk to a tree, you're talking to the spirits of nature that pose as spirits of nature, but they're demons. It's equivalent to working the Ouija board. You're opening yourself up for demonic access to your life because you're communicating, actively seeking to touch bases with the demon. Y'all better stop talking to them trees. And if you have talked to a tree, ask the Lord to forgive you for communicating to the trees and wash and cleanse you from that sin in Jesus' name.
It is one thing to have a connection with the land, and it is another thing to know that it's alive. When I started researching indigenous languages, in particular spirituality and wisdom, I started realizing that the way that our indigenous ancestors spoke about land was in an animate way, was acknowledging that the land was alive. The way that we speak about it now in our colonized English tongue is in an inanimate way, like it is not alive. The way that the indigenous language allowed and made room for the earth's aliveness, when they spoke about trees, when they spoke about the ocean, it was like it was alive, like you're spending time with them, like they're a noun instead of just an object for your disposal. The way that we speak about it now can actually be very dangerous because we allow room for the abuse to take place because it's not alive. It's not a real thing. These aren't things that have feelings. These aren't things that have emotions the way that we do. So that means that they're less than, therefore we can abuse them. And it creates the bridge between nature and the allowing of harming nature. That is why our oceans are contaminated, why our air is contaminated, why our forests, why it's all burning down, because we don't give it the respect that it deserves, and we don't understand that. There is currently a genocide happening on our land against our earth.
I want you to start paying attention to signs in your life. Please go watch her video. This hit so home for me, and I'll show you why. Of course, right before I started recording, the mom or dad was on my little table here. Oh, why did I tap the window? Why did I tap the window? But their nest, there's their nest up there. and they flew down here. Girl, we are all going through something, but if you can just take a minute and look around, you might find some beautiful signs and symbols.
Now, at this point, I forgot to show y'all my analysis of what's going on. I'm about to insert it in 3, 2. So I'm just, correct me if I'm wrong. Texas floods, windstorms, electricity poles flying down, trees just uprooting from wind, animals acting weird. The trend of people walking up to trees and asking them to touch them, and the trees touch them, the animals are getting closer to us, showing up on our doorstep, making nests around our house, allowing us to interact with them more. Them getting closer to us and trying to interact with us, and we don't understand what it means. People are talking about timeline collapsing, moving into new earth. Christians are talking about we're in Revelations. The earth's frequency strikes are through the roof. People are having dreams about the trees talking to them and telling them about the things that they trying to give and the information that they trying to give to us, but we not there. We're not aware. Nature is speaking to people in their dreams. Dolphins are giving insight on what's to come to certain people. There's so many tarot card readers down the aisle. So many TikTok creators becoming the new spiritual news. They keep talking about, is something going on? Is something coming? I don't know. Look at this, y'all. Like, people are starting to make more predictions. As I'm seeing what goes down my timeline, I'm just are y'all getting that nature and earth is upgrading, and they're trying to connect to us and talk to us? This is the original indigenous roots of it being on this planet, being on this land. Around this time in July, so many natural disasters or things that happen, and people are just starting to talk about what's going on with the earth and the global warming. But nobody ever talks about the indigenous teaching and the councils that we have with the planet, with the earth, with the spirits here. What was once disconnected to us is now trying to connect to us. You're seeing it with your eyes. So from what y'all are seeing, that's happening every year. We already know the upside down is the distortion, the fog that they try to keep us in our minds, to not have a relationship with our own selves and our own energy and our own planet. But at some point, there's no ignoring the indigenous connection we have to this planet, the energy work, the council meetings that we need to have with this planet, the nature guardians, come on y'all, like, every year it's like, oh, it's hurricane season, floods about to happen, quakes, all that. And then y'all go on about politics and everything that needs to happen and what the government needs to do. It's like a cycle that y'all keep going in with how y'all presenting or trying to heal this planet. But it's time to stop ignoring the energy work that needs to be done. So, let's get it together. The planet been trying to tell y'all it's alive, and I'm just trying to the trees are just trying to figure out is y'all ready now, because we've been waiting, and it's time. Yeah, the trees are sending messages to people in their dreams.
I just had a dream about trees. The trees and its roots. The trees were basically telling me that once it is planted into the ground, into the roots of Mother Earth, that it is intertwining with the chain of conversation with other trees. And I mean, past, deep down into the ground, past the oceans, past the depths of the ocean, through the ocean. And they were telling me that they hold the secrets to everything on this planet. It goes deeper than just the ground. It was telling me that we go deeper to the point where it is down and out and through. And the way that they converse in their conversations that they have is through rhythm and beats. And every rhythm and beat is a frequency that's different
to them, and they made me touch the root. They was like, you want to listen? I was like, yeah, I want to listen, but all of this is telepathically talking. I'm like, yeah, I want to listen. The root grabbed my hand and put my hand on the root. And it was like the tree was looking at me like, you hear the conversation? And I'm like in my head, like, how are you having a conversation with me and having a conversation with the other trees? But that is beyond my conception. That's beyond my mind's comprehension, because I'm thinking on the human level. But the tree was also showing me you need to think with us. And they were telling me that there is more beings down here, but don't think it's down here, it's down out through. So when I was having this telepathic conversation with the trees also explained to me that when they speak about secrets, they speak about the power within this realm, the power within this universe. And even the person or people that knows the most secret about this realm is only scratching the surface of the secrets that the roots holds within the trees. And when the tree asked me if I wanted to hear the conversations, when they put my hand on the root, the best way I can explain it was, you know how when you're about to fall asleep and your clear audience is kicking in, so sometimes it may sound like you're in a stadium full of people and the people is just talking? Well, picture or imagine several stadiums overlapping each other, and you hear each conversation, but your brain can't think that fast. But while you're in a dream, you're able to grasp everything because you're in a space where you're tapping into the tree's knowledge and information and intellect. And the tree also explains to me that while we're having this telepathic conversation, even though this is something astronomical for you, there is more to this conversation that your naked eye or your dream eye is not able to see, because your mind and how we think consciously won't get it, won't grasp it. The same for secrets. The secrets that the trees hold within their roots are something very powerful that we are not able to comprehend because we are not consciously ready as a people, as a human being, as a society to understand, because we don't vibrate high enough as a collective consciousness. And it's not like it's a secret that's being withheld with us because we are capable enough to unveil that. But the fact that we choose to be in this material world and worship material things like even achievements, it is pulling us away from unveiling these secrets / powers. And they were also explaining how it's not like a power thing, because it's a source that is. It is already is. And the reason why we call it power, because it's something we don't use on a daily basis, because we are not capable of doing that. Because once again, we are not consciously ready to interact with that. And even though the tree was telling me that collectively we are not consciously ready enough to tap into these secrets of the realm, but by showing me was letting me know that we're getting closer as a generation, as a people, as a society. We just have to continue to push past that veil that is being withheld within us.
You guys, I had the most prophetic dream.
Please go back and watch his full video so y'all can understand. In this video, he was saying that he was approached by the Dolphin Nation, and a mermaid-like being came out of the water and said that he did not remember himself, that he had got stuck in a distortion loop and his light went out, so they were not able to find him. Then they took him underwater and the dolphins started doing sonic healing on him. So it's a couple things that I want to talk about from this video. First and foremost, there is a wave of us that is waking up right now because we are at a threshold between dream restoration and dream collapse, which means we are either going to stay in the frequency of hatred, narcissism, distortion, separation, or we are going to return Earth to its original frequency of love and compassion and harmony. The choices that we make right now are really important, so a lot of us are waking up. This is coming through our dreams and visions. So if you're having dreams and visions right now that seem really intense, you can remember every single detail of it, and it feels like you are there, write them down for now, because you might not understand them, but you probably will understand them later. Your soul lineages are reaching out to those of you who are ready to remember.
All right. Where are the girlies who know how to talk to nature and talk to the nature spirits and animals? We gotta, what they saying.
Dolphins and whales are not just animals, they come from Sirius B. They are highly intelligent guardians. They descended here because we chose separation, and we do have free will, but they wanted us to be able to do that safely. So they basically sing sonic sound along the ley lines that are beneath the ocean to make sure that we do not fall beneath a specific frequency. They also protect the Atlantis stargates. And if someone were to gain access to the stargates, they can collapse timelines. They can implement false memories into the collective consciousness, and so much more. That's why there's a lot of focus on the ocean right now. What he was experiencing in that video when he said they took him underwater and all the dolphins started basically sending sonic sound in his direction. You don't know what I'm talking about? Watch the new Aquaman. Watch the end of Moana 2. That was an initiation because that is the realm that he comes from. Atlantis wasn't only physical, it went across 5 different planes. Part of it was oceanic, part of it was in the stars, part of it was etheric, part of it was physical. So based on what soul lineage you come from or flame that you come from, you are going to be initiated in different ways. I come from Venus, so I was initiated through song because Venus is about music and art and beauty, and my voice holds light codes. He was initiated through the Dolphin and Whale Nation because they're the guardians of the oceanic realm. He comes from the water. And yes, in this physical body, he cannot breathe underwater because he took a physical material form. But there was a time where he could. But there was a time that he could. For those of you who are remembering, you are not crazy. If you need some guidance and understanding, every single Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific time, I get on live on my TikTok. There have only been 2 sessions. The first session was about us being at this threshold between dream restoration and dream collapse and why most of us are waking up right now. The second episode was about the flame lineages that you may come from and what gifts you have because of it. This week will be about bloodlines and some of the codes that are existing in really, really dense and toxic family lineages, which is why some of you are born into toxic and traumatic family lineages.
Talk about the spirit of a mountain. All of these mountains right here have been asking me to share some information about them. So here we go. So they are saying that because so many mountain spirits have been dormant and or asleep for so long, that some locations haven't been properly healed, or they're just showing me pictures here, so I'm trying to put words to that. What they're showing me is the mountains will kind of like a vacuum, suck the dense energies up, work to transmute it, send it back up, and then anchor it back in with the help of the trees, anchor higher consciousness in. But because so many beings of the land have been dormant and asleep for so long, that it's almost like they need a kickstart or an extra amplification. Like if you're starting a car that you haven't started for a while, or it's really cold and it kind of keeps turning over before it kind of gets going and warms up, that's how they are sharing these beings of the land kind of being in this state where they're a little sluggish, they need a little bit of a kickstart. And so what they're asking is that if you live near forests or mountain ranges, even if maybe these spirits have been awake for a while, help amplify their energy. And you can do this by creating crystal grids. It does not have to be anything specific or fancy. Your intention is enough. With the intention of amplifying and giving them energy through the crystal grid, singing to them through the heart. I just keep saying sacred ceremony, but it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't really have to know what you're doing, because the attention alone is enough to help amplify these spaces, to help shake them awake. They just need people to recognize.
Has anyone else noticed that animals all over the world have...
Talk about the spirit of a mountain. All of these a little sluggish, creating crystal grids. It does not mean, and giving them energy through the crystal grid, singing to them through the heart. I just keep saying sacred ceremony, but it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't really have to know what you're doing, because the attention alone is enough to help amplify these spaces, to help shake them awake. They just need people to recognize that there are these beings within the land and they need help amplifying. We can give them extra energy simply by doing a few intentional tasks, and that will help increase the vibration of the entire space. So that is the ask from the mountains today. If you create grids or do any...
We all know around this time in July, just in the summertime, things start to, and the energy starts to get real ready to surface, and it don't care about nobody and nothing trying to hold back limitations on frequency. It's just gonna flow. And sometimes when it flows, it overflows. Now, the most important thing I want you to take away from this video is that with the different things that's happening, it's important that you understand your relationship to this physical reality and the nature that is in it, because it's done and over with just not recognizing it for what it is. It's alive. Okay. Now I feel like around these times, the energy surges, you know, because there's more heat, there's more sunlight happening, there's more awakening happening within us. Everything just starts to rise up around the time of New Year's. Right? Okay. Yeah. We already know past that. Springtime. Now we in the summer. Now we are seeing the harvest of the energy that we have been working through and the planet has been working through as well. And when there is limitations in the frequency of the planet and the frequency of the minds of the collective, the waves just burst through. Okay. It has to burst through. It's been building up and it's been recharging underneath and it's just coming up. So go outside. Spend some time in the nature and talk to the nature, talk to your body. Let the earth know that we cool. We good. We cool. You know, like we good. We straight. Send love to the earth. Do something to help the earth through this time and help yourself through this time. So I hope this video helped a little bit. I love y'all so much. Thank you so much for watching. And if you made it to this point, I appreciate you. And we on a journey, okay? We're doing it together, all right? We both here, and we understand what we seeing with the world and seeing with ourselves and the changes and the shifts. We know y'all know what's up. I will see y'all on another video.